At the moment, it seems like Ryan Reynolds has everything going for him, but before he met his now wife Blake Lively, he was notoriously unlucky in love. What's the secret to his success now? We'll show you how he and Blake are making their relationship work. Before we get started, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications for more videos from the taco. Let's begin. Friendship first. The relationship between Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively is the only good thing about the movie Green Lantern. The two met on the set of this box office flop, and this situation had all the setup of a typical Hollywood romance. You have two gorgeous stars playing love interest on set, and both were dating other people at the time. But instead of signing up for a quick Hollywood scandal followed by a horrific breakup, these two tried something novel. They became friends. It wasn't until they were both single that they went out on their first date. Obviously, fireworks flew at that time, but they believe starting out as friends gave their relationship what it needed to be successful. Having a solid foundation is necessary to building a lasting relationship like the one between Ryan and Blake. Privacy. In today's world, it is easier than ever to overshare about everything, including your relationship. But privacy is something that both Ryan and Blake value very highly, and it's key to keeping their relationship strong. Instead of setting up shop in busy New York City, they share a farmhouse estate over an hour away. When they're at home, the phones go off, and they commit to dedicating time with each other. Their work lives are so busy that they really need this time to disconnect, unwind, and focus on their family. According to Blake, they want their children to enjoy an upbringing that is as normal as possible. Not only does this rule keep their marriage happy and healthy, but it has the same effect on their children. Because of this rule, Ryan is limited to gushing about his wife and family only when he's at work. Experience. They say money isn't everything, but most celebrities don't act like this is the case. But when it comes to Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, they are truly united in believing there are more important things than money and possessions. When Ryan first started acting on the show 15, he made $150 a day and refused to quit his paper route as a backup. Although this couple tries to live a normal life, they place a lot of value on experiences. Having fun, enjoying their family, and relishing their privacy is much more important to this couple than fancy cars and extravagant shopping sprees. Shared values are important, and they can be the difference between staying together and splitting up. This common outlook is an important one and a strong basis for a relationship. Humor. Not only are Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively gorgeous, rich, and talented, but they are also funny. We know it doesn't seem fair, but seeing the humor in everyday situations is important to them. They frequently tease one another on social media and even use their jokes as a way to dispel hurtful rumors. Upon reading a tabloid story about their impending divorce, Ryan joked it was a relief because now he could finally get some me time. On his first Father's Day as a parent, Blake congratulated Ryan by jokingly questioning their daughter's paternity. Many Hollywood couples buckle under the constant pressure and scandalous rumors that plague them, but these two are dedicated to laughing off all of the negativity that finds them. Plus, what better way to let off some steam than poking fun at your husband's subpar baking skills online? Staying positive. Even for non-celebrity couples, life has a way of bringing you down at times. But Ryan and Blake are dedicated to lifting one another up when times get tough. Despite how confident he appears, Ryan Reynolds admits to struggling with anxiety. He claims his wife inspires him to stay positive with her kindness and big-picture attitude. During their wedding, Blake burned her wedding dress with a sparkler. Before she could fall into despair, Ryan pointed out the burn mark is now a reminder of how wonderful their wedding day was. Blake was glad her new husband was there to provide her with some much-needed perspective. This positive outlook took the scorch mark from being a source of negativity to Blake's favorite part of her dress. Staying optimistic can be difficult, and it helps to have a partner dedicated to a positive outlook on life. Scheduling. Scheduling is something which seems so mundane, but being on the same page as your spouse is of the utmost importance. Both Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are in-demand actors, but both make it a rule to put their family first. When Ryan is uncomfortably stuck in his Deadpool costume, Blake and their kids aren't far behind. These two parents chose not to take on projects that conflict with one another in terms of time and travel. They believe it's important to spend time with each other and their children as much as possible. When you consider how often distance and busy schedules are cited as reasons for celebrity breakups, this rule starts to make a ton of sense. Of course, putting this limit on themselves means missing out on some projects, but this is a sacrifice both partners have accepted. Openness. Blake and Ryan are such a perfect couple that it's easy to forget that they were ever involved with anyone else. Before she started dating her now husband, Blake admits she struggled to being open in her relationships. When she had a problem with a partner, she would immediately turn to her best gal pals to discuss the situation. But now she believes being open with your partner is the best policy. When one of them has an issue, they go to the other to talk things through. It may be hard, but being transparent and forthcoming when there's an issue can save a ton of heartache and prevent many fights. This rule definitely ties back into the two of them being best friends who can tell each other anything. Kids. While children can be little miracles, they can also put a ton of stress and strain on even the healthiest relationship. Having a child introduces a completely new dynamic and changes your life and relationship. However, Blake and Ryan are in total agreement that in any circumstances, their kids come first. Ryan even once famously joked that although he loves his wife, he would use her as a human shield to protect his children from harm. Both parents clearly adore their children, and Ryan admits their daughter has him wrapped around her little finger. James and Inez are two lucky children. Their celebrity parents will be doing everything possible, even at the expense of their careers, to make them happy. Ryan Reynolds admits that although having kids is common, raising them has been an incredibly profound experience for both himself and his wife. Praise. It's no secret that Blake and Ryan love teasing one another, sometimes quite publicly. But in order to offset any potential hurt feelings, they make it a point to praise one another whenever possible. May sound simple, but hearing words of praise from your partner can mean a lot. When Ryan Reynolds was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, he made sure to thank his beloved wife during his acceptance speech. He called her the best thing that had ever happened to him and claimed she makes everything in his life better. Considering how much this couple sacrifices for their family, building each other up in this way means a lot. Despite all of the jokes they make at each other's expenses, it's clear to everyone around them that these two are crazy in love with one another. Challenging. Both Ryan and Blake are sources of support for one another, but they also push each other when necessary. This isn't a couple who is happy being complacent in areas of their lives. Because they have established a solid foundation of trust, they're able to challenge one another without causing hurt feelings. According to Blake, she enjoys when her husband challenges and pushes her to be her best. She likes to run decisions by her husband before making her final decision. Not because she needs his approval, but because she values his input and knows he has her best intentions in mind. Being able to push each other when appropriate is part of being well-rounded partners. Challenging one another is how they inspire each other to be their best. Gifts. If you've ever scrimped and saved to be able to afford a gift for your partner, you may be envious of celeb couples with limitless disposable income. But Blake and Ryan know it's the thought that truly counts, which is why they have a very special rule surrounding gifts for special occasions. Instead of sending out a personal shopper, this couple takes the time to make each other gifts to commemorate special occasions. They're in agreement that getting something handmade is more meaningful than a store-bought gift. But there was a time when Blake bent this rule to buy her husband a present handcrafted by someone else. She ordered a felted Deadpool riding a unicorn and holding a chimichanga from Etsy shop. Adorable. If that doesn't say true love, we just aren't sure what does. Dad duty. There's an unfair attitude going around regarding gender roles and division of labor, and Blake and Ryan are not here for that. How many times have you seen dads praised for babysitting their own kids while moms take on the vast majority of unpleasant baby chores? Well, that doesn't happen in this household, and Ryan is expected to do his fair share of diaper duty and late-night feedings. According to Ryan, this should be the norm for all the dads out there and is a basic step of being a father. He admits there's lots of dirty work when it comes to being a parent, but doing it is the only way to be a good father and a good partner. Some celebrities would be happy to pawn their child-rearing duties off on a nanny, but not this couple. Appreciative. Not only does Ryan Reynolds feel strongly about not shirking his fatherly duties, but he and Blake believe in cherishing every possible moment with their children. When you're a movie star, work gets incredibly hectic. Filming can be incredibly intense when it's going on, but luckily there is plenty of downtime between projects. Missing out on their family when filming means Blake and Ryan believe in being fully present when they're around their kids. They definitely don't phone things in and try to pack in as much quality family time as possible. Not only do they have to contend with busy shooting schedules, but the passage of time is an issue as well. Ryan acknowledges that someday there will be a time when his kids start to push their parents away as they get older. He and Blake are devoted to enjoying as much time with their kids as possible while they're young. Above and beyond. Ryan and Blake believe that sometimes when you're in love, you have to be willing to go a little bit crazy. When things get hectic and there is a distance between them, Ryan admits he's done crazy things like spent hours on a plane just to spend a single day with his wife. One day, the couple had a craving for a certain pie from a shop in Vancouver, Canada, so they decided to take a spontaneous road trip up to grab some. While they got the pies just fine, they had some trouble crossing the border back into the States. Apparently, the guards didn't believe two Hollywood A-listers crossed the border just to grab a few pies. Sure, not everyone can afford a plane ticket or a car full of pies, but it's important to go above and beyond sometimes when it comes to making your partner smile. Delivery. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have 2 kids so far, but both have discussed wanting more. With that in mind, we can appreciate these rules Ryan laid out for us regarding being a dad in the delivery room. The first rule should be a no-brainer, which is that playing paparazzi is a no-go. Not only is this stressful for the new mom, what are you really going to do with those photos? Even though he's a huge star when Blake is in labor, Ryan knows he's the least important person in the room by far, and it's important to act that way. If your partner asks you questions, be sure to keep things positive and try to avoid cracking jokes at stressful moments. Since Blake says she'd like to have a litter of kids, we're guessing Ryan has perfected how to behave in the delivery room. Do you think that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have the perfect romance? Let us know in the comment section and then hit the subscribe button for more videos from us here at The Taco. Thanks for watching!